for it to be validated by the Golden Globe is an extraordinary achievement. It's a moment of pride for the entire country. It's wonderful that Indian cinema, our songs, which sometimes people in the West used to smirk and joke about, have to eat humble pie because you know what? We've beaten the best in the world to win this as an original score. And so, watch out, guys. India is here and our music is here, and you better. We are very special, Rudrani, and I'm going to tell you in your show why we are special compared to all the other films. The reason we are special is because the English version of Rocketry had been submitted at the Oscars as an independent submission. So the English version of Rocketry has been selected. So we're competing with the best in the world uh, in terms of all the big boys who've released this time with Tom Gunn and Tom Cruise and Avatar and everything.
Woo!
I'm going to put my bet on Rocketry. Look, we haven't had the budget or the time to go and lobby over there, and I know that it takes a lot of time and money and get the people in the jury to come and see it. But hey, you know what? We never expected to reach this far, so you never know.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rudrani, and welcome to Speak Easy. I have an actor who right now deserves even more love. His passion project, Rocketry, is being celebrated globally and finally getting all the love that it truly deserves. I'm talking about, of course, our Madhavan, who's put in everything into Rocketry. Congratulations, first of all. Contention list for Oscars is a big deal. Wow.
Well, thank you, Rudrani. There has been a lot of misconception where people believe that it's a nomination or it's a selection or anything, but it's just a first step. Like they say, it's in the reminder list, all the films. But it is in one way or the other quite flattering to have the Oscar name attached to Rocketry one way or the other. We still have a long way to go in terms of the final destination, but I'm very excited, and the whole team feels sort of vindicated that we've reached thus far.
You know, I'm very aware of the story behind the labor that you put into it. I'm calling it labor because it is, right? And everybody included. You literally sort of gave up so much of your time, money, invested everything into it. Does that now obviously feel worth it completely?
In all frankness, and I don't say all honesty because I believe I'm honest most of the time, but in all frankness, I think people are overestimating the kind of hard work we put into it. Rudrani, it was definitely 4 years of our life, but it was not traumatic. It was not, unprecedented hard work or too much of challenges. I have to tell you, and the entire team of Rocketry will tell you, that it has been a blessed journey for all of us. You know, we rediscovered filmmaking the way we wanted it. We invented few things that have never been done before. We had the opportunity to meet some extraordinary people, right from Mr. Nambi and his family and the rest of the people that we met around the world who were in awe of Mr. Nambi and India. So as much as people like to call it, and like you very kindly put it, it sounds like a big of a sacrifice, but it hasn't been. It's just been one hell of a fantastic ride, and somehow it continues to go on. Right now, I used to joke on the set saying, "Hey, you know what? Forget about all this. We're going to go to the Oscars, man. Imagine that, and let's work towards that." That's exactly.
Did you
And
say
people
that?
all the time from the time I was writing it.
Oh my God, that's
No,
huge.
no, in fact, I have some 10 messages from people saying, how did you know? They said, you always said it and it's happened. And honestly, I didn't think it'll happen. I was just like, if you have to aim for the stars, we'll at least fall on the moon. And that's the whole idea. So I said, in terms of performance, in terms of art, in terms of audio, in terms of edit, creativity, songs, everything. I said, let's aim for the Oscars. It was a joke. But guess what?
This
It's
is
not.
India's film that we're all rooting for. It's been shortlisted. Chalo show. We have even more films. I think this is turning out to be an absolutely splendid year for Indian cinema. I think thanks to all of you artists.
We are very special, Rudrani, and I'm going to tell you in your show why we are special compared to all the other films. The reason we are special is because the English version of Rocketry had been submitted at the Oscars as an independent submission. So the English version of Rocketry has been selected. So we're competing with the best in the world uh, in terms of all the big boys who've released this time with Tom Gunn and Tom Cruise and Avatar and everything.
Woo!
So it's not the Tamil or the Hindi version; it's the English version that has managed to make it thus far. So I'm even more excited.
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But today is an even more special day. We're talking about celebrating great cinema from our country, and today we had RRR win the Golden Globes, the best original song. I mean, I'm sure everybody's thrilled, but I'd like to know your thoughts as well.
So I don't even dance when people pay me for it in my movies. So but when I saw this song, when I saw the song from RRR, and I was so blown by it, absolutely blown by it, that I called Ram Charan and I told him, I said, boys, I don't know what you guys have done to this song, but it looks like it'll actually get me to dance. And and that's saying a lot. And he was very amused. But honestly, the first time we saw the song, oh, sorry, heard the song and saw it on television, I knew it was very special. But for it to be validated by the Golden Globe is an extraordinary achievement. It's a moment of pride for the entire country. It's wonderful that Indian cinema, our songs, which sometimes people in the West used to smirk and joke about, have to eat humble pie, because you know what? We've beaten the best in the world to win this as an original score. And so, watch out, guys. India is here and our music is here, and you better pull up your socks and, think twice before you smirk.
And this is not the end of it, right? Because again, RRR is shortlisted already for again the original song at the Oscars. You
Hmm.
guys are in the contention list. It goes on. I mean, and it'll be huge if RRR wins at Oscars again. And I mean, I'm rooting for all of us to win actually. But what do you think?
Ah, well, I'm going to say we have all a chance. I don't see any reason why all the films should not make it one way or the other. We have some
Must.
extraordinary films this year, so I'm going to put my bet on Rocketry. Look,
Um,
we haven't had the budget or the time to go and lobby over there, and I know that it takes a lot of time and money and get the people in the jury to come and see it. But hey, you know what? We never expected to reach this far, so you never know.
but your belief in the film is so extraordinary. Of course, I mean, it starts from there. And the fact that you said that it's going to happen, I mean, truly, there is, if you have to believe that universe makes things happen, this is proof, right, Madhavan?
Without a doubt, I'm telling you. Look, the only reason we made the film was because there was an overwhelming desire by the entire team that Nambi Narayan's story should be told. If we had aimed for the Oscars, or if we had aimed to impress people, I do not know if the same results would have occurred. I never thought that this film will make me a producer and a writer and a director and act in it in three languages, shoot in eight countries, and everything. But I think the intent for making the film was so pure that it's just the momentum that's taken us thus far. Because we never looked at either the budget or no department. Let me say it right now: no department of this film ever looked at what their job was. It was so overlapping all the time that I wondered why they were all bending over backwards to make sure we got the best shot possible or the best outcome possible. And I think that is a result. I wish I could show you some of the messages that I got today from our teams, and it gave
Do
me
you
a
remember some?
lump in
Please,
my
I mean,
throat. No, no, it's amazing. I mean, it's so heartfelt. It's so wonderful to hear that, we managed to achieve what we set out to in one way or the other. And most importantly, Rudrani, the most important aspect of Rocketry was that we wanted Nambi Narayan sir to be known around the world. And today he is being celebrated. And for me, that's as good as an Oscar.
you made it happen. I want to know what his reaction to it was. I mean, I know how close you all are, and I think he's the sweetest person. I had the honor and I had the privilege because of you to meet him along with you. And what a man, really. So I want to know how he reacted to it. And yeah,
Rudrani, when I met this man for the first time 5, 6 years ago, or 7 years ago, actually, he was keeping up a brave front, but deep in his eyes, you could see the hurt. You could see that he was, his smile was readily dropping. Cut to so many years later, and I'm telling him about the short the what do you call, the reminder list at the Oscars, as they call it. And this man cannot stop smiling. He's got this glorious look of achievement on his face. He's sitting there, he's happy with his grandchildren, his children all around him, and he's quite the hero. And for me to be able to bring that sort of a smile on anybody's face is a blessing, but to do that with Nambi Narayan sir has been my privilege. And so when I tell him that, I can almost, and of course I spoke to him on the phone, I can almost see him smile, and I'm sure he's still smiling.
I'm sure he is. And on that note, I must discuss this view because uh, today you're a celebrated director as well. New York Critics Circle award for best director went to Mr. S.S. Rajamouli. And that's another feather in the cap. Like I said, look at Indian cinema, Indian directors being celebrated. I'd like to know how excited you must have felt as well. And B, since you're now a legit, validated, celebrated director, you told me you don't want to direct anymore. I would also like to know if you've changed your decision.
I don't know what will get me to direct again, Rudrani. Honestly, like I said, I'm very underqualified before I started the film. I'm not being humble here. I just
Hmm.
think that you need to be motivated by a vision. It cannot be just the desire or the money that makes you a good director or to direct a film. And I never expected my first debut film to reach this level, right? So I'm very nervous about what I'll do next as a director. I mean, as an actor, I know that I can hit the ball out of the park six out of six times if I have to, give or take a little bit. But as a director, the hit or miss is such a big one that I don't want to spoil the taste in people's mouth. So I'm just waiting to get motivated by that one story that I will do again as a director. As of now, it's just acting for me.
Okay. And of course, Mr. Rajamouli.
Yes, of course. I mean, what an extraordinary director. I mean, all
Yeah.
the films that he's done thus far, not you can every one of them is exceptionally extraordinary, and that is such a rarity. I mean, I think a few such directors exist. Rajkumar Irani has never failed with any of his films, and the next guy who's never failed with probably a lot more number of films is Rajmouli, and. To see him actually get his recognition around the world, to see him wear the traditional clothes and go for the awards and then stand there and speak and represent India is a matter of great pride. And it's amazing how humble all these people are. The greatest achievers, the ones who've been lauded the most, from Rahman sir to Mauli, you can see a great amount of humility among all of them. And I hope I can inculcate that, if not their achievements.
No, 100%. You are in that path. Come on now. And also, you rightly said about the Indian clothes part. I think that was thrilling to see the entire cast. There were the with in saris and in traditional clothes. I feel like there is so much beauty in that to be sort of there. And you went to Cannes, and I get that feeling. You know what I'm saying? You see like apna koi hai wahan pe.
I totally agree. I wish I'd gone to Cannes in my Indian traditional attire. I should have done that. But you get caught up by all
Mm.
the hype around the event and clothes and everything. But Manish Malhotra did a great job with what he gave me. But I think what the cast and crew of RRR did was brilliant. To just see the culture just radiate from across the continents, and then that's a picture that's going to go around the world. And I'm really happy that we're emphatically stomping our feet on the creatives around the world and saying India is here for us. Better sit up and notice us.
Madhav, do you also think like this is now finally the West is also taking notice of other aspects of Indian filmmaking and not just Bollywood, and that is also absolutely phenomenal. Now when you talk about the kind of publicity, the kind of love that RR got outside from Japan, US, all the other places, it also opens door to say that now maybe they will also watch other films from Telugu, Malayalam, Tamil, all industries, and will look at it without any bias and look at it as a film to be entertained. What do you think about it?
I think that's already been happening. Over
It
a
has been happening for a while, but I feel like now more, right? Like, because now
no,
I feel like,
what you're saying is right. What I'm saying is right now the commercial films, or so-called commercial films, which were actually, if I may say, uh, frowned upon as
hmm,
all that we are, is now coming in, and shining in all its glory. So these good films with good actors and good performances and good directions have not only fared well with critics, but also with the audiences in a big way, and now internationally. So what has happened is now, the songs from India, Bollywood, where people are running out of the trees, it's just a slap on your face as you look at what we come up with original scores in a small part of our industry. It's Telugu industry is a small part of our Indian film industry, and they're doing exceptionally well in terms of the kind of stuff that they're churning out. And look at the actors and look at the energy of the actors when they dance. I'm sure the West is going to look at it with awe. And I think it's time. I think it's time for India to actually shine in almost every field. We're doing that in almost every other field, from IT, from finance, from our economy, and right now with the film industry as well. So I'm very, very excited for what the future has in store for us. I think Kantara was a work of absolute inspiration.
I
Uh,
loved it.
Last 20 minutes, I think everybody on that set, from the music director to the art director to the costumes to the environment to the trees, the sound, the music, everything was possessed. And I think what Rishabh Shetty did was phenomenal. Kashmir Files has just, shaken over the entire world right now. It's up to the, I mean, there are the share of controversies, but nevertheless, it's a film that has touched people, and the testimony to that is the amount of money it has collected. So, and is probably one of the highest grossing films in the indie industry this time around. So, it's definitely a time to reinvent ourselves and look back and see if we become complacent or not. But these films give you the belief and faith that go out there and make a film. Just tell the story from the bottom of your heart and yell it out without conditions, and I think the people will accept it.
Thank you. Please go and rest up. Thank you for doing this once again. Sending you so much love.
Oh, please pray for us.
Absolutely cheering for Rocketry. You guys are amazing. You have done a phenomenal job. Thank you once again, my dear.
Thank you for your kindness.
Lots of love.
Thank you, my lady. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.